Hi everyone and welcome. This is Mindy with Mindy Egan Design on behalf of Dare to be Artsy, and we are celebrating the release of the Holiday Seals stamp set with the Stamping Village. Now there are numerous ways that you can use this stamp set on scrapbook pages and cards, but my favorite way is for treat gifts. The Holiday Seals stamp set has 12 amazing designs on here from the Stamping Village. Now, the Stamping Village focuses on community, not competition. So, 12 members of that Stamping Village community have a special design on this stamp set. They are all super adorable. This is an amazing stamp set, and we are going to be using this fun Santa one from Dare to be Artsy. Dare to be Artsy has a lot of amazing products in their store, some of which they had sent me to work with for this stamp set. This is the Snow Much Fun paper pack collection. It has 16 sheets, beautiful, beautiful pattern papers, double-sided, lots of great designs on here for Christmas or for winter. You can use these on your cards, scrapbook pages. These are 12 by 12 sheets, so I'm just going through and showing you the variety that they have here. I do use some of them in my project. This is a stencil. This is the swirl stencil. And I'm also showing you the Skeezins Greetings stamp set and coordinating die. Notice the dies are already cut apart, so you don't have to do any trimming there. There's also this reindeer games. This was something they had sent. This is actually a stamp set that you can purchase, which I thought was super adorable. And then this is the double dot circle framelit, and these are perfect for die cutting out the holiday seals. I'm going to be using that third one from going from smallest to largest, and it's going to cut that out with just a smidge of a white border around it. I did go ahead and stamp these on some Copic friendly paper with a Copic friendly ink, and I'm going to be coloring at least one of them on video for you here with my Copic markers. While I'm doing that, I just wanted to let you know that 100% of the net profits of this stamp set will be going to support the Dreaming Zebra Foundation. This foundation provides art and music materials free of charge to many schools and communities throughout the country, which is a fantastic idea. I love art, so I think this is a great thing to donate to. Definitely check this out. The stamp set will be listed in the Dare to be Artsy website, which will be linked down below. Back to the coloring, I did just use some traditional Christmas colors for this. You could certainly change those colors up depending on your project. And once this is done, I'm going to take that circle die, line it up with my image, hold that in place with some purple tape, and run that through my die cut machine. And I did cut out quite a few of them. Off camera, I colored about 3 or 4 more to have on hand and also for my project. This is a look I wanted to show you. If you can see on camera, it's also leaving a dot around that circle on the negative piece. So certainly something you can use for a future project. This is a look at the paper and the cardstock that I'll be using. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11 sea glass cardstock. And to start my project, my first score is going to be 3/4. And I'm using a Teflon bone folder to do this. My next score line is at 4.5 and then at 5 inches. Now notice I'm doing this along the 8.5 edge of my cardstock. I'm also using a scoreboard that doesn't go all the way down. If you have a large scoreboard, you're going to get more projects out of this piece of cardstock. Unfortunately, mine only goes to about 8 inches, so I'm going to have to improvise just a little bit. If you have a large scoreboard that does score all the way down, you can kind of skip this step, but I need to trim this down. So just taking my large Tim Holtz paper trimmer, you can see I'm just going to cut off that area where I couldn't get scored. I could have flipped this around and scored it, but this is just how I was in a train of thought at the moment. So I trimmed that piece off that wasn't scored. So now I have 8.5 by 8 inch piece of paper. Here are my score lines. You can see there's my 2 and then 1 at the bottom. And we're going to line that right up into our paper trimmer. So our score lines are going horizontal. And then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to trim this at 2 3/4. And if you have that full sheet of paper, you'll be able to get 4 treat bags out of this. I just have the 3 at the moment, but you can certainly get 4 out of that one sheet of cardstock. Next, I'm going to trim some pattern paper for the cover of my treat bags. And this is going to be cut 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. Now you can see you can get a ton of treat boxes and bags out of this pattern paper and out of one sheet of cardstock. And being that this is the double-sided paper, you can use either or. Now this treat box that I'm showing you is definitely not anything new, but it's been a while since I've done something like this, and it's nice to be able to just grab some cardstock, score, and glue and have yourself a lot of treat bags for class treats or giving to coworkers. I am a big fan of making class treats for my son and daughter for school. So this is really helpful, and they are super, super cute. So first thing is I'm taking my bone folder and I'm just going to score along those lines, making sure it is a really nice sharp crease. And I'll do that on all 3 sheets of cardstock that I have here. This is going to create kind of a little pocket. I believe these are called Matchbox treat holders. And I made these like years ago, and I hadn't made one for so long, but they are so cute and have a lot of different purposes. So I'll go through and finish scoring those through, and you can see the flap is going to tuck in to our bottom flap. Then once those are all scored, we are going to work on decorating the front. Now you can get as elaborate or as simple as you want with this. I'm going really simple because when I'm making 20 to 30 treats, I don't like to get too crazy. So and they're still super cute. So I'm just going to add some tape runner to the back of that pattern paper. You can see there's a cute bear on one side. I'm really fond of that plaid. I just really love this, and I thought the sea glass cardstock tied in really nice and brought out some of that light blue that is in that pattern paper. And then when you attach it, you can just leave a nice even border. You don't want to go all the way to the bottom when you're attaching those because that's going to get covered up when we tuck our flap in. Once you have your front cover with the pattern paper, we can start looking at attaching our seals. It is best to try and work and get all of your decorating done before we put any treats inside. So that's what I'm going to do. I have my 3 seals here that I die cut out, and they're all colored up. And I'm going to attach them just right to the center. I think these are so cute. The sentiment on here, thought it was just really fun for Christmas treats. And to attach these, I'm going to take some white foam squares, add that to the back of each of those seals, and then once I remove the backing, I'll just center that on the front of my cover. Now it is easier if you open that up and lay it down flat, and then you can position that just right and attach that. And I'll do the same thing on the other 2. I was really happy with that, and I love the different covers that you can have here. Now this type of treat bag works best if you have those mini snack size of like M&Ms, things like that. They fit perfectly in here. Unfortunately, I do not have those in my house because they never last long enough for me to put them in a video. But I do have some individually wrapped chocolates. So I am taking just a small jewelry bag and adding a couple or about 4 of those in there. And then I'm going to seal that bag up, and we are going to add this to our treat bag here. So this is pretty bulky. Most times your small snack size treats won't be this bulky, but this still really worked. So I'm going to flip that kind of upside down so my sealed part is at the bottom. I'll fold that Ziploc seal over, and I'm just kind of folding the edges so it's not sticking out on the side. Then you push that all the way down to the bottom of that score line into your flap. And then we're going to staple this. This is going to hold your treats inside of your treat bag so they're not slipping out. You could also add a piece of adhesive behind your bag if you're worried about it flopping around. but just a staple at the very bottom. You want to stay close to the bottom because we want to be able to tuck our top flap in. So I'm just going to bring that over and I'll slide my top flap into that bottom flap. Really easy, really cute, a little bulky, but like I said, if you have some regular snack size treats that you get at Halloween and Christmas, these work great. And this is also something you could use for putting little notes in. You could cut up some paper and just tuck that in there. So really great gift idea, things you can use for your coworkers, for friends, for family, to put in stocking stuffers, and it is one of my favorite ways to use seal stamps like this. I hope you enjoyed today's video and it gave you some new inspiration in your holiday crafting. You can find the supplies for this over at Dare to Be Artsy website, which will be listed down below in the video description, along with the really fun Holiday Seals stamp set from the Stamping Village.